Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We thank you guys so much for jumping in here, however you are consuming this wonderful, incredible show that we're about to do for you right here. My buddy Nick Geddes from On3 Sports joining me on this Tuesday, as we always do. We got lots to get to, and I think we got the overhype machine in full tilt here this morning, Nick. I've decided that this week we have 2 championship level previews here in the Tampa Bay area. And yes, we're gonna overhype it because you know why? We can. We're allowed.
No rules here.
That's
no
right.
rules here.
Super Bowl preview, Bucs and Ravens, right? You can make that case. And let's just go Stanley Cup Finals preview with Vegas, who was off to a 3-0 start before losing to Washington and against the 2-0 Tampa Bay Lightning. Too soon? Too soon? Yes. Yes, way too soon, but we don't care. It's just to kind of underscore we got 2 great freaking matchups right here. And we've got 2 teams that are very much in the thick of the championship hunt for their respective trophies. I think we can say that. I mean, look, and I know it's only 2 games with the Lightning. I get it. But they have a championship core and they've done it before. So I think it's fair to say, yeah, these guys got a shot and they're showing early. That's fun. And I don't think anybody can argue right now that the Bucs are legitimate Super Bowl contenders at 4-2 and scoring 30 points a game. Right? Is that fair?
I don't think you're too far off.
All right.
I don't think you're too off. I think we'll wait and see on the Lightning for sure. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But the Bucs, though, I mean, let's be honest. This is big. We're gonna get into it, but this is a big test here. It's sort of like Detroit was a big test. This is right up there with them, and maybe even more so. Baltimore is a scary team to go play right now.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But
Derrick
at least you get it
Henry
you got it in your barn, though.
Yep.
You got it in your barn.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is a load. Lamar Jackson is, simply the most electrifying offensive player in the game, and he's really hard to tackle. So this is going to be an incredible challenge for the Buccaneers offensively and defensively, and that's the way it should be. Good on good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, good on good. Place is going to be packed. Something this region really, really needs, and I think it's.
Are the Bucs gonna wear red?
I don't know what they're gonna. You know me.
Are you gonna wear red?
Well, I'm wearing.
Can I see the red?
I got red on today. Look at
Yeah,
me.
I know. I'm
Maybe
not sure
it's
what
a little
I'm doing.
clue to what they're
Not
wearing.
sure what I'm doing here with my navy blue. But,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful day out, by the way. Let me mention that real quick. There's no clouds out there. Woke up, checked the weather app, it said 53, and I said, I'm going outside today this morning.
Yeah.
I'm going outside. I put the
I bet
quarter
Riley
zip on,
liked
I'm
it
ready.
too, huh? I bet Riley had an extra spring in his step, huh?
He wouldn't even come out of bed.
What?
I literally opened the back door, and usually when he hears that thing open, he's like bolting to go out there.
Oh, Tally loves the cold weather. Loves the cold weather. Totally rejuvenated. I love it. And it feels good. Walk the dogs in the morning and it's chill. It's football weather in the air. It's good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. So anyway, we got Dan Lucas is going to join us at 10:15. We were going back and forth last night on Twitter about where the Rays should play. He's got a plan. He's got a whole plan already figured out for the Rays Barnstorming tour.
Dan with the plan.
He went to get all the schedules and has a plan for the Barnstorming tour, which I don't hate. I prefer I think the best solution is Steinbrenner Field. Everybody has a lot of opinions on this. There's a few opinions I get and I understand. There's some that I don't understand. And one of the things I don't understand is, we hate the Yankees. We're not going to play in their yard. I don't. It's a desperate time. You got to find a place to play. In times like this, it's you should remove all emotion, jealousy, envy, whatever whether you despise them or not. This is not a time for emotion. This is a time for cool, calculated, assessments of what is best for the fan base, what is best for the players, what is best for ownership probably should come last in this particular situation. And I think if you assess it in that way, Steinbrenner Field makes the most sense.
I will say, I mean, the Rays love to make their banners, man. They love to make their banners. Can they contact their banner making guys? And can we just put a couple of Rays banners over the Yankees logos if that was the case? That's my only thing. I don't want to stare at those Yankees logos.
Okay. Have you been to Raymond James Stadium for a USF game?
Yes.
Okay. What do you see?
I see red seats, a pirate ship that doesn't fit.
Fair.
Just feels like you're sort of like squatting in another stadium.
But you also see USF signage everywhere covering up all
Yeah.
Bucs
They
markings.
cover it up.
Yeah, the point is they cover up all the Bucs markings with USF signage, and the field is painted in USF colors,
Right.
and it becomes their home
Yeah.
for that day. This is sharing a stadium is not rocket science, nor is it new in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's not new.
Let's just say, though,
go ahead.
I was going to say, the only thing I will say before you get to your point is let's just kill the idea of, let's play double headers in Miami Stadium.
Oh, my
please.
God.
Get that one. Let's take that one off the list, please.
Going to Miami has to be the dumbest idea ever. That's the dumbest.
Right up there with playing in Olympia Stadium in Montreal, which I think was mentioned in the Top Gun article.
Yeah, it's like it's so funny. They've downplayed Steinbrenner Field. Like no, we could not do that. I'm like, why not? It's the biggest field in the area. It is major league quality, ready, amenities, tons of practice field, tons of space, great parking, great access. It's centrally located in the middle of the market. Duh. What's the problem of all the other places that you could play? Like what? And what I hear most is, oh, the Yankees wouldn't let them. Well, that's not true. They will. And the other part is the Yankees don't own Steinbrenner Field. They don't own it. The TSA owns it. The Tampa Sports Authority owns it. So it's owned by Tampa, not by the Yankees. Now they lease it. I get it. They have all the trappings of ownership. I get it. And I'll tell you this, that I thought about this many, many years ago when the boss was still alive about, could the Rays play a couple of series every year at Steinbrenner Field, do the same thing I'm talking about now, cover up the Yankee stuff, just to engage the Hillsborough County audience. And I actually reached out to the Yankees and said, would Mr. Steinbrenner be okay with it? And he said, yes, absolutely he would. So I'm sure Hal would continue on with that legacy. And Hal's lived here in Tampa. His kids went to school here in Tampa. And if the Rays are and the folks and the Rays fans, if this is the best solution for them in a hard time after the Hurricanes, you think he's going to say no? No, he's not. No, he's not. And the Yankees and MLB, we're all in the same business, by the way. I think that the MLB would say, yes, let's do whatever we can to help out another franchise that is in desperate need. And this is from a revenue standpoint, a huge winner. I mean, you can't make a better argument in terms of revenue. Essentially located, a great ballpark that I think would be absolutely packed every single night, just because of the proximity to the actual fan base. And I see people also saying, well, that would look really bad if they packed the park and then they went back over to Tropicana and it's not. Well,
it's
it
12,000
might.
people. I mean,
Yeah, it might. But here's the other part. And that's just a maybe, by the way. That's just a maybe.
Yeah. But
the other more important part about that is you're building your fan base or you're sustaining your fan base. I would argue that you're building it because you're coming to a venue that is closer to your fan base. You could really build even more fans, get them excited. I mean, this is a team that has a great pitching staff for the next 3 years. If you actually operated it like a Major League Baseball team and spent money on payroll, maybe take some of that insurance money, spend it on payroll or the $500 million you already have in the bank, and all the other money you're going to make in the new stadium and the property and the real estate deal. Take some of that money, put it into a couple of bona fide hitters and a catcher, and what do you know? You're going to have a really exciting baseball team playing in a centrally located venue that's going to be packed and have great energy, as opposed to moving to Nashville, Charlotte, moving all around the area, which I don't think is a horrible idea. But I think I don't think in Major League Baseball Players Association would go for that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I had four locations that I in my preference, like I would have Steinbrenner as one would be my favorite if they could make it happen. 2 would be Orlando, the Worldwide Sports. 3 would actually be Durham. I wouldn't hate that if you shared it with the Durham Bulls. I think that'd make things logistically easier from that front. And then the 4th one was out of the box, Omaha, Nebraska. It's a great facility.
Omaha!
It's chilling out there, unused for the most part.
But what are your priorities in making those decisions?
My first priority.
Clearly, you've put, like Stu, the fans last.
No, I haven't. I said
Yes,
I just gave you 2
Who the hell's
locations.
going to Omaha to see games?
That was my outside the box. Like if we
Who's
were
going to Raleigh, Durham?
they're outside the box. You would still the people that are rooting for
Who's going to
Durham.
By the way,
The people that are
driving
rooting
to Orlando.
the people that are rooting for the Durham Bulls are probably Rays fans as well. Like, or I mean,
but
I
what does
said
that
I
do for
gave you
people that
Tampa.
play
I
spot
gave you
Rays?
Tampa as the first option. What else do you want from me?
All right.
I get if you want to throw Clearwater in there and then 2, I'm good with that too. The Phillies Stadium. I'd rather have that over Dunedin. You can add that on if you want.
Yeah. And when coming up with these ideas, I'm like, what should be the first priority when deciding? Should it be cost?
And you think about it for the players too. The players all live here, right? So that's probably first priority in the Rays' minds more than anything is how can we make this easy on our players?
Well, I don't think it's number one though. Should the fans not be number one?
I think the players almost take precedent because they all live here. And then you're think about if you're going somewhere else, then you're going to have to organize hotels and all this.
I think it's a close one too. I think it's a close one too. I really do. And to that degree, I think the players would choose to have a home base and not flop around to different.
I would think
places. Because baseball is a game of routine. What's in my locker? How's my locker set up? Where do I park? What time do I get there? What's the traffic like? What am I eating? Where am I eating? You go to different ballparks, they're going to prepare different food. Where's the batting cage? Where's this? Where's that? Is my house close to the ballpark?
Yeah,
or
field quality, all those
We're
things.
in a different ballpark today, so that's different. I mean, I don't think the Major League Baseball Players Association would be okay with. It's clearly they were against.
I will say one thing's for sure. It feels like whatever happens, the Rays are going to be playing outside for the first time ever in home games, which we'll see what happens when you get to the summer months. I'm sure we're going to have some issues. It's just inevitable if they have it in Florida. But
well, you know what? The Braves play outside.
Yeah.
The Cardinals play outside.
They'll make it work. Maybe you could I don't know. Maybe they could throw some more day games on there. I know the schedule's set, but I'm sure you have some flexibility.
You don't want day games in the summertime.
Well, it usually rains usually in that mid-afternoon, and that would hurt the night games.
Yeah, that's true too. But on average though, I think the Braves get six rainouts a year, and maybe 12 to 15 delays. It's not. I mean, people say it rains every day.
It did this year. This was the worst year ever for
rain.
And
even if it rains, is it a problem? Yes, it's definitely a problem. But there is no, there are no other solutions to that right now except going to play in Lone Depot Park, which there's a lot more negatives on that.
That thing's never open either. It's never open.
Yeah. So I would, I just when you add it all up, I just think Steinbrenner Field is where it's at. And, I think on so many levels, you check boxes that I think are the highest priority. And again, I would say fans are one too. Thomas reminds us here is the Marlins played outside for 20 years, play
Yeah.
down at the worst baseball stadium, maybe worse than Tropicana Field.
Right up there
One
with
of
the
the pro
Coliseum.
player stadium.
Right out there with the Coliseum.
Yeah, somebody's like, we could play at Raymond James because the Coliseum used to host baseball games.
Stop.
Well, you're gonna have 220-foot fence in left field.
Yeah,
That's
we're gonna be
80
playing on
feet
like
high.
we're gonna be
No,
playing
thank
on a
you.
little league field there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I
No.
don't think we want to do that. But all right, so our man Dan Lucas with News Channel 8 has come up with a brilliant barnstorming strategy for the Rays. Good morning, Dano. What's up, partner?
I'm Nick, JP. It's good to see you. I know we're all tired, and I hope you guys are okay and did well. And the past two storms, and everybody is good. So that's and everybody's watching.
I'm having guilt.
Too.
I'm having guilt, Dan, because we never lost power. No flooding. I mean, I know my friends are just absolutely inundated. Their homes have been destroyed. So I have guilt. I have deep guilt in this whole thing. I know, and you were working. I'm sure they put you on news duty at the EOC for hurricane duty. I saw Elena out there in Pasco County. I think I saw her out there, braving the weather. I'm like, oh, I bet she's loving this.
Oh, let me just go stand out of this stuff. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Nonsense.
Listen, wait a minute. This ain't the Rays game.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm with you. I my house is very, family and friends are impacted. So I did everything. I'm continuing to do what I can to help my friends out, and whether it's just helping them clean up their yards or putting the fence back together or whatever. That's all you can do, and just help your neighbors and friends and try and make this a way your tight knit group, your community, and that's we can get out of this as a positive. So, but yes. So
you got a blue tarp for the trop?
You guys probably heard about this trop thing.
Yes.
So that was wacky. To withstand 115 mile per hour winds. So, when you're like, okay, what are the Rays going to do? What can they do soon, long term? I don't even know if it's even worth revisiting repairing it, based on the fact that whatever money and it's not just the roof, it's the structure, the integrity of all that, the catwalks and that, which they still haven't inspected, as far as I know, if they're even structurally sound. And then the Rays offices, I believe, took a hit. The field itself has no drainage, so it's in bad shape. Into the dugouts and all that kind of stuff, So playing without a roof, I don't think is feasible. And putting a roof on there, to me, I personally, if I'm the Rays organization, I don't think I would sink $1 into a new roof, even claim the insurance on it, because you're 3 from opening a new ballpark. So you've got to figure out how to get the stopgap with something that's realistic, not, because we're all throwing out opinions and what the Rays should do or what we think they should do. Honestly, this goes beyond 2025, in my opinion. I think this is 2025 and maybe 2027 before they get ready to christen the new stadium. And so whatever they wind up doing has to be realistic for sustainability of the franchise, not thumbing your nose at the fans or completely discounting Rays fans altogether. You got to come up with something. And everybody has their opinions. I posted yesterday, as you noted, whoever mentioned Steinbrenner Field one more time, I'm going to spontaneously combust.
I see you haven't spontaneously combusted, so that's good.
Here, but what's funny? I love you guys on social media, because it only took about 30 seconds for 15 people to respond. Hey, what about Steinbrenner? They want to see the combustion.
They want to hey, well, you promised something on Twitter, bro. You got to, like that guy who said he was going to eat dog crap, right?
Poop. You got to eat the poop. Yeah.
Don't put it on social media if you don't. We're going to hold you accountable. I mean, that's going to happen.
You did not explode. You didn't explode.
But you're going to come on here and explode today. Well, let me go back first of all, and I think your point is a good one. Let's start with the trop. And I think, and I've heard estimates of 40 million, 39, 40 million. I don't even know where that came from, but that's out there. And it's, putting on a new roof. And from what I understand, from the people that have been over there and some people that work there, the superstructure of the actual catwalks have been severely damaged as well. So it's not just like, hey, let's throw a tarp over it. So there's major work that needs to be done. And so if it is 40 million, the city's on the hook for that, for the catastrophic damage. The Rays have to do maintenance, but for major catastrophic repairs like that, the city's on the hook for it. So now you got to say, okay, city, and I don't know what the insurance levels are, to be quite honest, but does the city want to, spend another, what's the deductible on that? I have no idea what the deductible is on an outdated stadium. But anyway, is it 10 million? Is it 30 million? Is it 40 million? In addition to the 1.6 billion that the public has to pay to build this new stadium, not the 700,000 or 700 million that you read. That's without interest, and that's without the tax benefits that they would have gotten if they'd sold it. So if you go look at the number, the cost to the public is $1.6 billion.
Right.
So that now we have to repair the trop for 3 years and then spend that. No, that's not, especially with what St. Pete and Pinellas just went through. That's not feasible. So I think right off the top, you're right. They're not playing. The trop has seen its last game, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. So now where do they play? Which brings us to the Dan Lucas Barnstorming Tour. So give me your plan.
So the Rays, it started with, people think, oh, why wouldn't you play at Steinbrenner? It puts them in Tampa. And I had a laugh at this. And I'm like, I know this. It's not as simple as you think as calling the Tampa Sports Authority or calling up the Yankees. So much goes into it. The Yankees obviously are the primary tenant. We'll call it the tenant. They have their Florida State League club there all summer, as does Clearwater, as does Dunedin, as does Bradenton, Lakeland. So it's a not to just say, all right, put him in Steinbrenner because it's got the best capacity and they'll get 10,000 every night. That might be the case, but it's not that simple. So there's two plans for me. There's the Disney plan, which I'm leaning that way because it's major league ready quickly. It can be a permanent home. You can locate the franchise or the offices. I get was what I mean wherever you want. The players can relocate to that area. It's easy for ball clubs to get in and out of with charters. There's hotel space, blah blah blah. Everything that's major league level out. Port Charlotte, if you wanted to play half a season in Port Charlotte or the majority of your season in Port Charlotte. So the Florida State League plan, the Dan Lucas Florida State League plan, is 3 ballparks, 3 communities, County and Hillsborough County, keeping everybody in town. The players can stay in their homes using Steinbrenner Field, Clearwater, and Dunedin.
Okay.
So I went through next year, 2025, the Rays schedule as it is, no changes, no date changes, and then the Tarpons, the Thresh Rays schedules, and I circled homestand dates for the Rays, which ballpark is available based on the other teams being away from their ballpark. And believe it or not, I got through the entire season, and
that's impressive.
No conflicts. There's no conflicts with Blue Jays. The Rays would not host the Yankees at Steinbrenner Field. The Rays would not host the Blue Jays in Dunedin. It's just pure luck, by the way the scheduling came out. But I put it on my Twitter. I just listed the days of the homestands, and I put Tampa, Clearwater, Dunedin, and those ballparks are open. And man, I tell you, it would require some major hoops to get 3 teams to give you their blessings on that. That said, I think that I think Major League Baseball, first of all, should unite in this cause that the Rays are in, right?
Yes.
And all franchises. And I think that your local teams, the Grapefruit League brethren, I like to call them, should also try to figure out how to help this franchise the way the Rays in the past have offered. The Rays offered the Trop to Toronto during COVID.
Mhm.
They wound up going to their own. Rays held a series between the Astros and the Rangers when they had a hurricane issue. Those are short-term things, but
Right.
I think that MLB should really try to get this logistically figured out. Give the Rays an opportunity to stay where their fans are. And I know when you go to Clearwater, that's my favorite in spring training.
Awesome.
But yeah,
cool.
I know the capacity is not that big. I know that, but do you want to move them out of town and not give anybody a chance to go? That's the other thing. So I thought that was just kind of a neat thing. Some people thought it was kind of cool. Some are like, yeah, you're. I'm like, don't call me. I know I'm an idiot. Don't call me. You don't have to call me. You think you're telling me something?
I love the concept. I love the concept of a barnstorming tour. I've even said that, because obviously they've had challenges for attendance forever, and I've even said, before this happened to the Trop, why don't they play 2 series in Steinbrenner Field, play 2 series in Clearwater, play in Dunedin? When Minnesota comes here for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and draws 3,000 people at Tropicana Field, you move those games to Steinbrenner and sell, a 2 series Hillsborough County season ticket. You're going to sell it out overnight. You'll sell it out overnight.
All of a sudden, it's the place to be.
Right.
And that
so
makes
I've been a
it
fan of that
yeah.
idea. I've been a fan of that idea I think it engages other people that wouldn't normally go to a game. Hey, it's right down the street. Let's try this. I don't like going to the Trop, but maybe I can drive here and we can have a few beers and just Uber to the stadium instead of having to drive back from Tropicana Field after, guzzling 12 beers. Not a good idea. And it's not, not a $60 Uber fee. So I think it just opens up so much more. And I love your idea. And I think the question is, and I put this to Nick as well, if you're going to rank the priorities of relocation, right? Where do you have the priorities? Is it players first? Is it fans first? Is it ownership, cost, etc.? What else do you throw in there? Oh, I mean, those are the main 3 things here, right? So to me, it's fans first, players second, ownership cost third. And that cost, as you said, should be absorbed by, to some degree, Major League Baseball as a whole. I'm not sure these owners don't want to send Stu any more money than they already do. That's true.
Exactly.
Like, we got to bail this AL. Okay, right. Oh, fantastic. Let's go do it.
I would flip-flop 1 and 2. I would put players 1, fans 2. And the reason I would put players 1 is, I believe the MLBPA would have to vote on whatever they come up with. If I'm not, I might be wrong on that, but I think the players in this. Also, I kind of glanced at some schedules next year, like the Orioles, for instance. And I did this because someone has jokingly said, move them to Oakland for this. I said, you know what? I go, I'm going to, rather than just flat out dismiss you, I'm going to explore in here on this. So I looked up the Orioles schedule, and they have a homestand. It's in June, late June, early July against the Angels at home. And then they play 7 games on the road, 4 at the Rays, 3 at the Yankees. So you're telling me that you're going to play and then go to Oakland to play 4 against the Rays, and then go back to New York to play 3 with no days off. That it's just not feasible, and that's where the players come in. The fans, I think the fans should have the ability, not the right, the ability to go see their team.
Agreed.
It starts with the loyal fans, the season ticket holders, and those who but they like to get the ticket deals and go to the games when they can. They shouldn't be punished and have their team taken away for 81 games.
Agreed.
And then there should be fans on the fence a little bit. Fans from different areas who say they can't get to the Trop, don't want to drive over to St. Pete, like you're saying. If they're 15 minutes away from Steinbrenner Field, maybe they'll give it a chance. And then maybe they'll explore, wow, this was kind of cool. Let's, just jump on board here. And that's way down the road. So that's why fans. And then I think it needs to be, before satisfying the owners, I don't really care if the owners are satisfied or not. But I would say that it needs to be major league quality. The facility, the field, the way it looks on TV, suffer because guys are living in a hotel, for 6 months. I think it needs to be major league quality, and I think the Rays could do well if they were bouncing around the Bay Area. If they do it in spring training anyways.
Right.
When they play the Blue Jays and the Phillies, these guys aren't in Port Charlotte for 3 days. They're in their house,
Right.
Here in Tampa and
But
St.
they
Pete,
also
and
the starters don't get on those buses. They play home games, but they don't get on those buses for the most part.
Exactly.
And now they'd have to be getting on buses, driving around in the traffic in Tampa Bay. MLBPA says no. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Negative. And I don't know how you solve this.
I think I'm me, I champion. I don't want to see you combust, but I'm going to say it. Steinbrenner. It just makes the most. I think it gives an opportunity. I think it gives in a situation where this could be a horrible thing for this franchise, obviously. But this, to me, I'm saying this is an opportunity. If you're playing in Hillsborough County, where most of your fans are anyway, it's a nod to the Hillsborough fans and saying, yes, you're important to us. I'm going to tell you this: if this were the Lightning, or obviously there's different things coming, to play here. You got the closed arena, all that. I know that the Lightning and the Bucs would do anything they can to stay in this area for their fans. And I think, especially when it's baseball, when you have 81 home games, and if you move it, think about this: if you moved it to another market, say Nashville or somewhere, and I'm sure these other markets, Raleigh, Durham, or whatever, be like, yeah, we'll pay you, Stu Sternberg, to bring your team here. Wink, wink. So now, so you're going to send your team away where your fans can't see them on a weekly basis, daily basis. And then you're going to build a stadium in 3 years, say, come on back, fans. Yeah, we could have stayed in the area, but we decided to take the money someplace else. But we want you to come back and buy season tickets and luxury boxes. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
As much as Stu has given the finger to the fans, and he has so many times, this would be the ultimate finger to the fans. And he would sit there and we're building a new stadium. You should come back and be loyal. Why? You're not loyal to us. So, I mean, as you start looking at these different options, I think you can moving to another market, from the argument I just made, is not, I don't think it's feasible. I don't think it's feasible for the long-term health of this franchise. You go away for 3 years, you're done. Nobody cares. The Lightning and Bucs are in a season where they're going to be competing for championships in the next 3 years. You're going to be a complete afterthought. If you left this market, as you should be. So now you're saying, now we have a $1.6 billion stadium we're into, and nobody's going to come because you pissed off the fan base again. It's irresponsible. And it shouldn't even be considered in any way. And as far as location, I think the players are going to have a huge part to say about this. And a lot of the players do live in Hillsborough County. As far as I know, some of them do. I know some of the people that obviously work, the staff work there. And even the ones that live in Pinellas, the closest option obviously would be Clearwater and Dunedin, but Steinbrenner Field is not that far away. And I think it's obviously the biggest of the bunch. And I think, from a logistical standpoint for the players, they would want, and the staff, because you're going to need the signage every series, right? You're going to take it down for the Florida State League schedule. The Tarpons can figure that out. They can rework that schedule. I don't think that's a big deal. You're talking about 400 or 500 people that show up to these games.
Yeah, where you're going to ask. I'll just zero in on.
I mean, Howard Grossman will hate me for this, but.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll choose my words carefully because I first of all, I grew up here. I was a Florida State League kid at Tampa Tarpons, the old Al Lopez ballpark. But Howard at the Yankees and Tarpons, he does a tremendous job. They are unbelievable.
It's great.
And their community relations and the things they do at the ballpark. The problem is, in the case of Steinbrenner Field, you're going to call a meeting. You're going to call a meeting with the New York Yankees, and you're going to call a meeting with MLB, and you're going to call a story and see if you can get something worked out. The Yankees, even if they have the heart to help the Rays franchise and say,
Come
guys,
on.
come on into our building. They have their own logistical issues to figure out with their Florida State League club. And it's not how many fans they host, it's getting all their games in. They're not going to want to move them out of that ballpark because they're set up in the ballpark. That's basically.
But they could
their
play when the
opposite
Rays
of
are on the
year-round.
road. They could play there when the Rays are
I
on the road.
agree.
And it's only 30,
But
what is
that-
it, 31 home games? 31. They play a 64 game
they
season,
play-
so
they-
32 home games.
Yeah, but the schedules are in line, and I didn't really until I looked at how many times they cross over with the Rays schedule. My point here though is the Tarpons last season, this 2024 season, were involved in 19 weather delays. 19
Oh,
and
wow.
and just home games. Just home games. It's 13 of those games were either postponed or outright canceled.
Wow.
So
That's a
now
lot.
what the Florida State League can do, and the Tarpons do this. You get a rain out one night, sucks, right? So then you come back and you can play 11 a.m. and then 7 p.m. You can
Doubleheader, right.
can finagle it, make this. It's gonna happen in the majors. It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. Occasionally you get a desperate situation where we're gonna play at noon, and then a 3 or a 3 and a 7. But if you said, why don't we have the Tarpons play every day at 11 a.m. and then after that it's over to the Rays, and whatever signage you want to put up there. I still think that the weather factors force logistical challenges for that, and that's something they would have to work through.
That's the biggest downer. It's the biggest downer, no question about it. No question about it. But like I said, Atlanta plays outside, St. Louis plays outside. The Marlins used to play outside. It's not as many games. I didn't think 19's a lot. I didn't think it was that many.
Those were delayed games. All you have to. Here's my source. The Tarpons social media. They let their fans know, hey, we're in a weather delay, or tonight's game is beginning in a weather delay, just to so you don't leave your house too early and get stuck sitting in the parking lot. They take care of their fans. But those notifications that are easy to spot, I counted 19 from June, July, and August. How many of these games were played? And I went into their schedule on MILB, and they will say, canceled due to weather.
You did a lot of legwork here, bro. My God.
I'm telling you. I don't want the Rays. Even though I came on and said that Disney's probably, I don't want them leaving Pinellas and Hillsborough. I even had a guy reach out to me last night because I floated this idea, and he goes, there's no Grapefruit League team in Sarasota at that ballpark. And I'm like, well, if you really wanted to go crazy, you could play Lecom and Braden, Sarasota. I mean, you could really barnstorm this area and hit the whole fan base.
Yeah.
And Sarasota's there.
Sarasota would be better than Durham. Yeah. Yeah. If you could have a park all to your own, that's not a bad. And then you're reaching, once again, this is an opportunity to reach out to that area, and you get a lot more fans, I think, that have never gone to a Rays game that would go to a Rays game. So I'm open to that as well. But I think, Steinbrenner should be the first option until it's not an option. Nick, what do you think? You want to jump in here?
I mean, I'm thinking it like from a marketing standpoint too. If they did this idea that Dan, you pitched, and they went to all these different stadiums, I have to think there's some good marketing opportunities. The Rays are on the road, and hitting all these different spots, and the novelty of it. And I think the novelty of it, even though it's going to be, maybe away from where the most of the fan base is here in Hillsborough and Pinellas, if you go to a Sarasota, Orlando, I think the sheer novelty of it, at least me, I would feel I'm inclined to go to some of these games because it's going to be just for a little bit. It's new areas. It's new ways to see a game and everything, right? Whereas, going to the Trop sometimes, I mean, the Trop is the Trop. It's not the most, elegant place to go watch a baseball game. It's outside. I've never seen a baseball game Major League played outside. So that alone, some of these solutions already sound great to me. My only concern is, and I don't know if this is a real thing. I might just be way off base here, but to the actual on-field product, I think we all can agree the Rays need to do a little bit of work, specifically in their lineup.
Mm-hmm.
The Rays don't spend money as it is, really, and they have a hard time getting players to play here. with the loss of the revenue of not playing in the Trop and all those things that come with it, does that make it even more difficult this winter and future winters until they get the new stadium to continue to try to supplement this roster with free agent guys?
Well, I think
you're
part of
saying-
the answer to
Go ahead.
that, Nick, is probably as soon as we get through the World Series and baseball enters its off season, I think the Rays do need to have on paper that they can present to people. This is what we're doing next season. I think, to your point, to address possible free agents, and I do believe that a lot of the revenue is accounted for in the broadcast deal. However, the suite made, and I don't know how if you're going to do what I suggested, go through Tampa, Dunedin, and Clearwater. How do you sell suites? How do you the way I did the homestands, it's not like you're hey, the Rays are playing the Dodgers tonight in Clearwater, and tomorrow they're going to play. It's series and homestands, so they'll be in Dunedin for a week. They'll be in Clearwater for a week, and so you could maybe sell, like JP was saying, some type of season ticket for Clearwater only.
Yes.
And then maybe you sell the suites for Clearwater only. You're getting, I didn't count up how many games are in. I think it's like 21 games or something in Tampa, 20 something in Clearwater. But
they would all be packed. They would all be sold
way.
out. Yeah, they would all be sold out.
I know this. I'll tell you this. In the Grapefruit League season in February, March, when the Rays play up here, I say up here because their home's in Port Charlotte, but you go to the ballparks, it's Rays fans everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think and those Rays fans are people who live in Tampa and St. Pete, don't want to go down to Port Charlotte, but hey, the Rays are playing the Phillies today in Clearwater. It is packed with Rays fans, their team once in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeding off that that kind of momentum I see. People can make fun of Rays fans all they want out of the area, but I think that this fan base wants to watch their team and they want to go to the games. I think
absolutely.
If you could get into the Grapefruit League, and it's unique for the Rays. If this is another, maybe in Arizona, you can do this, but teams up in the Northeast, if they're in a similar scenario, they're screwed.
I totally
are here.
Yeah, and that's, to me, it's players and fans first, and that, staying here in this area, playing at these ballparks meets that criteria, and that should be the starting point. And if you start going through all the logistics and everything, I think it probably makes more sense to play in one spot and have the signage, there easily to put up. Your ticketing is consistent from series to series. And it's a place you could be for 3 years, because I agree with you. This is a 3-year project. I know, you can get started and, you can implode the Trop and get started earlier on the stadium, or some things make it easier to build. I don't know if they would expedite it to the point where you would get a season earlier, but it's way more possible than trying to fix the Trop, obviously. So you might be able to get it done in time for the 27th season. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't, especially with the way, supply chains are these days. Probably not possible. But so even more, you want a place, you want a foundational place that you can stay for 3 years. That's really going to work. And I think, and you can do a lot of things in 3 years to improve the property as Steinbrenner and put in new bleachers, do some different things. And I already got a name for it, by the way.
Let's hear it.
You'll love this. So it's a downsized Trop, right? So it's the Crop Trop.
What's underneath the Crop Trop? What's underneath the Crop Trop?
The shirts, everybody except can you see me and you in crop tops? Crop Trops?
Crop Trop. Yeah,
with our big fat bellies hanging out.
Don't come after my Crop Trop.
It's we crop the Trop. It's the Crop Trop. Yeah. The marketing ideas are endless with the Crop Trop.
Wheels are turning.
I mean, you have a cheerleading crew, right? They're wearing their Crop Trops. Yeah, absolutely. Absolute fantastic idea. Well, we'll see what becomes of it. Hey, all right. So before you go, we got a lightning game. We're totally overhyping these games, by the way. Tonight we have the Stanley Cup preview with Vegas,
game
Vegas
three.
and the Light. We're 2 games in. We're 2 games in, and then Monday night we got the Super Bowl preview with the Ravens. Right? I mean, come on.
Right, exactly.
Just write that into your
I'm
keys
excited
today
about-
for the 6 o'clock. By the way,
I'm excited about this Lightning game tonight because they're actually getting some gauging type games
Yeah.
where you're gonna have and I mean I know it's 2 games. They're not going to hand out the cup in October, but in the past was it 2 seasons they have not gotten off to good starts.
Mm-mm.
So to come out of here, you get 4 points out of a possible 4. That's right where you want to be in October. And the thing that John Cooper said Tuesday night that I thought was cool was he did not expect this team to come together as fast as it has. And he thinks that their trip that they had to leave town to go to Raleigh, they spent a week there getting ready for the opener while the storm was coming. He thinks that 4 days made the difference and forced all the families to be together. And there's already a sense of even like the new guys like Jake Gensel already feel like they belong and they fit in. And maybe that has something to do with the product. Because of course, massive early season mistakes. And if they can get those fixed, this is a team that will compete, in the Atlantic Division again for that top 3. And that's awesome. That's awesome.
And Ravens Bucs Monday Night Football.
You know something? I've been telling people, hey, remember that what Lamar Jackson did to him last year? It was actually 2 years ago. And the first half of that game was all Bucs. You remember that? They were just suffocating. But I don't know why the Ravens had him in the pocket that night.
Yeah.
Halftime,
I remember now. Yeah.
Harbaugh goes. Then at halftime, Harbaugh says, "Screw this. We're going to run the football." And the first play of the third quarter, I'll never forget it. Lamar Jackson gets free on a designed run and goes 25 yards. And I think they ran 5 in a row right down the Bucs' throats. Down. And the Ravens went touchdown, touchdown, touchdown in the second half. And you're like, what just happened? We thought we were going to kick their ass. It was unbelievable. And I think the Bucs know what's coming.
And then you add Derrick Henry to that. Yikes. All right, Dano.
Yeah, Lamar doesn't even have to do it.
I know. It's going to be it's a test, no question. That's why there's Super Bowl previews. All right, partner. Always fun to chat with you. Thanks for jumping in, and we'll see you on the Barnstorming tour for sure. Thanks.
The nomadic Rays. Goodbye, boys.
Yes, babe. At WFLA Dan. Follow him on the X machine right there. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back. I'm going to hit all these comments that have been rolling in, so we'll get your thoughts on it. We got a lot of Bucs talk to get to as well. Sean Tucker, the Offensive Player of the Week, and we'll preview a little bit of this Ravens stuff. We got college football to talk about as well, and some Major League Baseball. Lots to get to. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES, lawgroup.com. If you have any issues with your insurance companies through all these hurricanes, folks, give them a call over there. Maybe they can help you out or steer you in the right direction. It's the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES, lawgroup.com. They will give you a free case evaluation. Of course, if you get in an accident or have any other legal issues, it's the Jeeves Law Group. Contact them through the website and tell them JP sent you. Not attorney spokesperson, offices St. Pete and Tampa. Back in 3. We've had a lot of fun with the monthly birthstones, and October is no different, where the birthstones are opal and tourmaline. All the colors of the evening sky are captured in the mysterious shifting hues of opal, and tourmaline has a color palette for every mood. Did you know that opals have been cherished for centuries, associated with royalty and good fortune? Tourmaline was once thought to protect against evil and enhance spiritual connection, adding to its allure. And during the 40th anniversary, you could find a special selection of this precious gemstone, from stunning rings and necklaces to elegant earrings and bracelets. Of course, Steve Weintraub handpicks every piece for its brilliance and quality. The expert staff will help you find the perfect gift, whether it's for a loved one, a special occasion, or a treat for yourself. Visit the Gold and Diamond Source today, where you'll always find the perfect gift. It's more than jewelry, it's love. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the JP Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance, make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right, that's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Corey Long, who covers the Bolts and the Bucs, will be joining us at 11:15. Late add to the program, so look forward to that. We're brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and his staff over there will get you right, get your health right, keep you healthy. That's their whole mantra over there. Medicine 3.0. We're not going to just be here when you get sick. We're going to keep you from getting sick. He's done a great job for me, for Nick, for Scott Reynolds. Many of us are his clients, and it's about getting the right supplements, getting your diet right, testosterone right, whatever your issues are, he'll figure them out and have a plan for you, a personal plan. And you should have a personal medical plan. There's not a one-size-fits-all drugs or any of those things. So do it the right way, the personal way. And that's a Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Go to the website, make an appointment right through there, and tell them JP sent ya. All right, you want to get to some of these great comments we have here from our
let's do it.
Esteemed listeners? You don't have the comments music, do you, that Timmy has? Is it in there?
No, I need Tim to give me that music.
All right. We'll do it without the music, or you can just whistle. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. The Bucs will be wearing red for Monday Night Football. Publix is giving out red Buccaneer Publix shirts. Oh, that's right. I saw the free T-shirts. The stadium lights will also be glowing red.
I love when they do that at night.
Red? Is it a red out? Is that what we call it?
Yeah, they usually do this for the night games that they have at Raymond James. They actually did it for that Ravens game 2 years ago, which other than the atmosphere going into the game, that game sucked. But yeah, because I think a lot of Bucks. I know you're not the uniform guy, but it's a real thing. The unrest in the Bucks fan base of they're always wearing this damn white, and most of the time they're wearing white on white. We can't even get the pewter pants in there. Like
I love the white on white. It's
Bucks
classic.
colors are red and pewter. I want to see red and pewter.
Okay, so we'll see red and white tonight or Monday night.
You're probably going to see red on white pants.
Red on white?
They did red on white last year's Monday game against the Eagles. So
Yeezy says, "Hope Bucks fans show up. Let's get a real home field advantage." I don't see an influx of Ravens fans coming down. Do you?
yeah, I don't think that's the fan base usually you have to worry about
No,
necessarily.
I think we'll be fine. This is one I think Bucks fans circled on their calendars. If you're a season ticket holder, you're going to Monday.
Well, this is the most exciting home game all year,
right? I mean, yeah, absolutely. Rick says Mark Tompkin writes whatever Stu tells him. Rays should be used to seeing Yankee signs and gear anyway. Ouch, babe. Like I said in my post last night, I mean, the Yankees have been paying the Rays salaries for their entire existence through revenue sharing and luxury tax. So why wouldn't they help them out with a place to play? We pay your players. Why wouldn't we house them as well? It's the truth. Kenneth McClary says, "Hey, JP, this Monday night, I believe, is going to be a high-scoring game. I think for us to win, we're going to have to score at least 35. I'm not confident that we can hold Baltimore under 25 points." I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah, I do. I don't know what the over-under is right now, but I would probably take the over on this. Probably one of the higher ones of the week, maybe even in the 50s.
Yeah, I would just say I think if you recall, a couple weeks ago, the Ravens played the Bengals in Cincinnati, and that was a very high-scoring game that I believe went to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. And as you look at the matchups here at play, I do see I don't see any way this game stays under. The over-under, by the way, is set at 48.5 right now.
48.
I actually think it goes comfortably over.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I haven't seen the latest line. Let me guess.
It's 3.5 Ravens right now.
The Ravens are favored by 3.5.
The Ravens are favored by 3.5, which isn't that surprising, to be honest with you. I mean, listen, the Ravens. Remember when they were 0-2 and people were like, "Oh, can the Ravens rally to make the playoff?" Yeah, they've won 4 in a row, and they're so. And it's offensively, this is number 1 offense in the NFL. The Ravens right now.
Yeah, but who's number 2? The Bucs.
No, the Bucs are not number 2.
If I'm not mistaken, 29.7.
Well, from a points per game standpoint, the Bucs are ahead of the Ravens by 0.2 points, but usually they rank that by total offense, so yardage.
Oh, by yards.
The Bucs are 9 and the Ravens are 1.
Yeah, it's points. Points are way more important than yards.
They're basically even then. The Bucs are only trailing the Lions right now in points.
Yeah, yards are archaic stat in my opinion, especially the way they play defenses these days. It's about the red zone, baby. It's all about the red zone, defensively and offensively, right? So
they're basically even though, JP, because the Bucs have scored 178 points this year. The Ravens have scored 177.
Everybody would think, "Oh, the Ravens, they score a lot of points, but the Bucs don't." Yeah, we do.
One more than the Ravens have this year.
That's right. Thomas Casper says MLB is going to decide, so you guys shut up. And that's an interesting part of this. Should MLB be the ones that are deciding this? I'm telling you, I think the fan base right now is at a point where, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think that the Rays fans are, doing cartwheels. The majority of them are doing cartwheels over the new stadium. None of them, 80% of them wanted it in Tampa. So I think right now I think Rays fans are just like, okay, build it there, whatever, we'll come. But I don't think they're doing cartwheels about it. Like, oh, wow, Stu finally got it done. Woo, woo. I mean, there are a few, I think, that are, but I don't think it's the vast majority. So I think the fan base is kind of on edge anyway. You take them out of this market, they're done. They're done in this market. You take them out of this market for 3 years, nah. That's to me, that's not an option. If NFLB decides that, you think that new stadium's going to be empty now? Yeah, try it then. Lonnie Wilkins says, I've heard 50 to 100 million for the roof. My thing is the money they've never spent could be spent to fix it and buy some goodwill so the Trop gets its proper goodbye since they need 3 seasons. What do you think, Nick? I just don't. The city's got to pay for that.
It just doesn't seem like a smart investment for a stadium that's going to be imploded in a few years. And I do think, like, again, like as we've talked about, it's not as easy as just putting a brand new roof or a brand new tarp or microfiber, whatever they had on there before. It's not as easy as that, because there's issues to the catwalks. There's also some issues, I believe, with some of the offices and the executive offices in the building as well. So, like, I'm sure the field's not in great shape. Like, the thing is still open, right?
And everything have been flooded.
The thing is still open right now, obviously. So anytime it rains or stuff like that, I know we're kind of maybe moving out of rainy season, but anything that drops in there going further just compounds the problem even more.
Have drains.
There's no drainage system in the Trop, so that basically rules out the idea of people saying, well, why don't we just play it with an open net? No, that would be a disaster. That's not on the table. So I don't see how the Trop, and again, I hate it, because say what you want about the Trop, like, there's a lot of people that have a charm about it, and have some great memories inside there. We all do. I think we all do. Yeah, I think we all deserve to have that farewell season, but you know what? It just it doesn't look like it's going to be in the cards, unfortunately. So you got to pivot.
As crotchety as I am about that stadium and the owner, I've had some great moments in that stadium.
We all have.
I mean, really, really some great moments that have been had there. So it would have been fun to give it a nice send off, and maybe they can come up with something that will suffice. But it won't be like, playing a final year there and having all those, memories come flooding back. Pardon the pun there. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Probably fitting the way it happened. Kenneth McClary says, I think the fans should be priority, because without the fans, they don't get paid. Customers first, employees second. Totally agree. And to further that point, I think these players are too coddled in the first place. Back when I grew up, they took care of the fans. Now it's about dollars and cents. And that's why I don't go. Huh?
I wish, what I thought too. I wish USF had a more elaborate setting for their baseball stadium. Like, I know they've put a lot of upgrades into it, but it's only like a 3,000 capacity.
Yeah,
like if USF had a situation like a different type of program, like I don't know what Florida State's baseball capacity is, for example, or like Florida.
It's about 8,000 to 10,000.
Yeah, like if USF had something like that, I feel like that would almost be the obvious answer, because that stadium, I mean, obviously the season's over by the time the Rays would play, and that would be the easiest thing. But obviously that's not really on the table. So
yeah, that does not work. Kenneth McCleary says, I miss the days when you could say, let's play 2, not to mention the benefit of having a doubleheader without kicking the customers out and bringing them back. I'm just too old school. Yeah, those days are long gone.
When you do double headers too, think of it like in baseball terms, like that's 7 innings for the second game. Like, you don't want to be playing a million of those 7-inning games like that.
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that so much, but yeah.
Nathan says tarps are cheap at Harbor Freight. Bungee cords are also cheap. I don't think that's going to get it done, partner.
It's like the guy in Pinellas.
If there was an option, he'd take it.
It's like the guy in Pinellas that used a bunch of ratchet straps to hatchet down his roof. Remember that?
I think that was in Orlando. Which was the dumbest thing ever, by the way. Michael LaRue says the Rays players and staff are going to want to be in one location in the Tampa Bay area. I believe that's true. I think Major League Baseball, the Players Association, is not going to go for the Barnstorming tour as much as I love the idea. I don't think they're going to go for it. They're going to
I'm telling you, sleeping in your own bed, especially for 81 home games like that, is a real thing for a sport, or a sport that's tough on you like that, with all the travel that you do and you're basically playing every day. Like, being in your own bed is a big deal. So I don't know how much of these guys are going to sign up for, hey, let's sit in a hotel for 6 months.
Well, yes, and that would be the thing if they move to another market. I guess they would have to get them housing.
It's in my opinion, like, you have to do what's best. You have to do what's best for your team's performance. What's going to help you? And I feel like some of these things are not exactly going to help you from a team performance standpoint.
Oh my God! Now, if you move to another market, I mean, seriously, all the guys have purchased homes here, and the staff that's just not an option in my book whatsoever. For 3 years, no way. And it's got to be here. It's got to be somewhere in the Tampa Bay area. It has to be, in my opinion. I don't think the Players Union would ever go for it. Michael LaRue says the Rays don't sign many free agents to multi-year deals, but it would be even harder if they play in a location outside of the region next year. Absolutely. What free agent is going to want to come here when you don't even know where you're playing? And it's going to be, and if it's different places, and the Disney thing again, it's for all the players that live here. What are you going to do during the season? Are you really going to drive I-4 every day to get to work? No. Are they going to, rent houses in the Disney area? No, you don't want to do that either. I just don't. For that reason, I don't think Disney is an option. I think it has to be here in the area. I think it does. John Hill says the Rays are not good enough to play in Omaha, Nick. They would lose the first wild card game.
Damn, y'all are brute. You're tough on the Rays over here. Damn.
Stu, GNF. What is that? Does that mean?
I have no
Hipster?
idea. No, I'm not a hipster. Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure. Well, you got all the hip language.
Do I?
Supposed to know what these. Yeah, you're always coming up with those things. That's how I learn all my hip language. Now that my daughter's at school.
I think it means give no Fs.
Yeah, I knew what the F was.
Okay.
Rick says the Yankees have 2 practice fields at their Himes locations. The Tarpons can play there. I don't mean to be rude about the Florida State League, but I can't imagine that with all this going on, that we're going to say, oh, we can't play there because the Florida State League plays 31 games there, 32 games there. I mean, you can easily finagle the Florida State League schedule.
You know what? They can go play in UT Stadium or something like that.
Right, exactly. I mean, and obviously compensate. I don't want to move them out. I don't think that's fair. But you they should still you can make this work with 32 home games. I really believe that. Especially since Steinbrenner, I think, is the most attractive option by far on so many levels. Nathan's just saying bye-bye Rays. They're done. Had they not, and this is the other thing, had they not gotten the stadium deal, I think relocation would be at the top of the list.
That'd be really tough. Yeah.
If they had
now you really love the fact that the stadium deal's done. Now you really love the fact.
We kind of do that.
It's like almost all that talk that we had.
This moment.
Yeah, almost all that talk you had about it's like almost arguing about where it should be and all this stuff. It almost seems nonsense now because without it being allowed, without having the assurance that this thing's going to get built where it's supposed to get built at, and this happens, I have no idea what happened, and then this would be a completely different conversation. So be thankful it's not that.
Yeah, that might be a situation where you go ahead and expedite whoever's first on the expansion list, be Nashville, and do that deal and say, Tampa Bay, you're going to get a team in 3 years.
Right.
Build a stadium, a good one in the centrally located area. That's weird though. I hadn't even thought about that. If they hadn't gotten that deal done, they'd be gone. I think they would.
Possibility.
But I think Major League Baseball would want, remember like the Browns, I guess it would be the Colts. I'm trying to think of the Browns, right. So you bring it back.
I wasn't born, so no, I have no idea.
Being confused here because the Colts moved. Yeah. So you would just have another team come back to that legacy market. Michael LaRue said the only locations that could be considered are Steinbrenner, Baycare Park, and TD Ballpark in that order. USF and UT don't have big enough facilities like these spring training sites do. I believe that to be true. Multi-site logistics is a nightmare. Stu won't do it. He counts the mustard packets. That's true. And Rick, he loves my nickname, the Crop Trop. More like the Stu FU when he takes the Rays out of town. But you love the Crop Trop.
What is it with the Stu what's with the Stu hostility today? Just all around.
Today?
I mean, it's usually every day on this show. But
around for
just in general, what I don't see why is everybody going after Stu? It's not his fault that his stadium just happened to have all this damage in a hurricane. We're in the infant stages of what's happening here. They're assessing everything. It's like they've been hit with a massive, just inconvenience at the moment. Let's settle. Let's figure this out. Okay, he's not dumb. He's not dumb. He's smart. I know maybe people don't want to admit that, but
No, he's very cunning.
He's a very smart. He's a very smart businessman.
Cunning.
Okay, like I have some kind of faith that it's going to be, something. This will work itself out. Maybe I'm being naive, but I think he'll work it out.
Well, listen, this is the residue of treating people like crap for so long. If this happened to Jeffrey Vinnick, it would be a totally different feel to it. Because
By the way, if this happened, you made some kind of comment. If Emily had damage or something and something similar happened, they would do everything they could to stay in this area. Where would the Lightning play?
Hockey's a different deal, right? We don't
have. We'd be playing. Guess what? You'd be playing in Orlando. You'd be playing in Orlando.
Yeah. That because that's lack of options. If they had, a minor league, if the minor league Solar Bears were playing in Tampa, that at a separate facility, that's where they would play.
Yeah, if the same thing happened to the Bucs, where would the Bucs be playing? Not here
at USF Stadium.
Oh yeah, I forgot that exists.
Yeah, so that they would, it's not necessarily apples to apples in this situation.
They'd be playing in the bounce house. That's what would be happening.
You think?
I'd rather play there than play in Camping World.
God, yes. You think? I don't know. I don't know. Either one. Yikes. Christopher Cole says Raheem is coming back. Rock Cherry.
Yeah, they opened up his practice window. His 21-day window is open, so he has within that time frame to either come back or not. We'll see. The Bucs got some injuries at the receiver position right now. Trey Palmer, I don't know what his status is for Monday yet. I know he's had the concussion. Jalen McMillan has struggled so far in this role.
Yeah, and he was on the injured list last week.
He was on the injured list last week. Cam Johnson was injured. But it seems like right now the Bucs wide receiver room just seems almost like plug and play at the moment for that third, fourth spot. Like Sterling Shepard just comes out of nowhere. He's the third receiver now. Ryan Miller gets a chance to play. He makes a big play in that game against New Orleans. So we'll see if Raheem gets a shot in there. But I think it's pretty much plug and play right now for those guys.
Yeah. And then Marquez Callaway. Interesting.
Oh, I forgot about Marquez Callaway. Interesting.
Yesterday, yeah. He's had some good moments in the NFC South. He's
a guy.
Yeah, and he can return punts, which I think I don't think they're really excited about what Jalen McMillan's doing back there in that.
Oh no! Fielding punts inside.
Look at Yeezy. Look at Yeezy. Let's get your drones to cover the Trop, JP, or cover the stadium by Ray J. Drone tarp. Yeah. There's your fix for Tropicana Field. Take the catwalks off. We have a drone tarp. If you had drainage, you could do it. There you go. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yes, the Browns are moved to Baltimore overnight in a fleet of U-Haul trucks. Remember? So Art Modell moved them to Baltimore. You don't remember this because the Baltimore moved to Indianapolis. The Colts moved to Indianapolis, and then the Browns, in the middle of the night, Art Modell moved them, and then the NFL gave Cleveland a franchise again. So if the Rays were moved out of the market to the first the expansion's coming for Major League Baseball, and I believe Nashville is at the top of the list. Portland, I think, is also one of those teams. Vegas, obviously, has gotten one now. Charlotte, North Carolina area, Raleigh, Durham, that area, I think, is still wants a baseball team. What are the other ones? I'm trying to think of maybe San Antonio, but I would say that would have happened. They would have done that and then bring an expansion franchise back with a new owner. Okay. Thomas Kasser says it's Stu's fault because the Rays are not already in Ybor City in the stadium. It's a good point. Mr. Geddes, right there. If they'd have had with the trans,
I can't deal with the past. I can only move forward. I can only look forward, JP. I can only look forward.
Okay. Man has a point. The Lightning would be playing in Brandon or Lakeland. Brandon has no
they wouldn't
for fans at all. Lakeland better. But yeah, I think they would move to the Kia Center, no question. Bucs signed wide receiver Callaway. That's right. The Aints player. You think he'll jump into the lineup? Nathan does? Okay. I don't know about jumping in the lineup, but we'll see.
Well, he's a guy that likes to get vertical, and the Bucs offense is not really designed to take those big vertical shots right now. They're much more east to west.
I don't know about that. It just,
I think that's a real thing. Like everybody's asking, like, oh, why is Mike numbers down and why is this and that? Like there's things that play a part in it, but I think this offense takes less big shots than some of the previous offenses that the Bucs had.
I'm trying to think of the deep shots that they took. Baker missed Shep on that one over the middle. Did they have any last week at New Orleans? They didn't need to. They didn't need, all they do is turn around and hand it off.
No, like
right.
they're scheming guys open east to west. It's a novel idea, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Defend the entire field. How about that? It's a great idea. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Corey Long's going to join us. Thank you for all your comments, guys. Fantastic stuff. Always appreciate you jumping in and adding to the show. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Only 18% of people in the Tampa Bay area have flood insurance. Yikes. We need to get that number up, guys, and get on it now before the prices go through the roof. It's Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. And if you need more homeowners insurance or need to make sure you're getting the discounts, they'll shop it around for you, hopefully save you some money. They've done that with tons of folks. So you get your insurance shopped around as well, and not just homeowners, business insurance, all that good stuff. If you have any questions about your insurance, they'll be happy to help you out. 813-877-7799. Back in 3 with Corey Long. Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best in the business. Golfers, listen up. The hottest new driving range craze has come to Rogers Park in Tampa. The Top Tracer range is now open 10 to 9 p.m. And just like you see on TV, every shot is tracked for yardage and accuracy, giving you immediate feedback. And best of all, you can virtually play the top courses like Pebble Beach or St. Andrews with your buddies. Plus, great food and drink options available in the well-appointed hitting bays. Very comfortable out there. Reservations highly recommended, starting at $25 per hour, including balls. Reserve at RogersParkGolf.net. That's RogersParkGolf.net. See you there.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Thirsty Thursday. Be thirsty tonight when I get into Amalie Arena and get ready for this Vegas Lightning Showdown tonight. It's a Stanley Cup preview, folks. Don't forget, we're brought to you by the Gold and Diamond Source, one of the great philanthropists or philanthropic organizations and businesses in our area. Julie and Steve Weintraub have done so much for the community because you've done so much for them. Everybody shops there because it's the place to shop for engagement rings, any type of gifts that you want. It's the gold and diamond source. And now more than ever, we want to keep it local and make sure we support these local businesses who are really, really struggling. So if you got to spend that money, let's keep it local and keep it with these great companies here locally. All of our sponsors, obviously, are local companies. So we appreciate them. And we ask you to support them when you can and tell them JP sent you. All right. We want to welcome in our good friend Corey Long, who covers the Lightning for NHL.com, also covers the Bucs for Walter Football and so many other things, college football. What's up, partner? How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Getting ready for this Stanley Cup preview tonight, baby. Nobody overhypes a game like the JP Peterson show, so let's go. Let's go. Here comes Vegas, and they're good.
Here comes Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is the third game of this season.
Yeah, it's never too early, bro. Come on, I got 2 hours to fill. Let's get some energy going.
I get it. No, it really should be, and it should be a great game, and it's definitely two, playoff teams that always have Stanley Cup aspirations. You got two amazing coaches in Cooper and Cassidy.
Yeah.
And every time you think it's weird, these teams obviously don't play a lot, twice a year, but always have tremendous games, really always have some very high quality games, great goaltending, not a lot of trash, not a lot of garbage out there on the ice. They seem to have a great amount of respect for each other and the challenge that they provide. So, I'm excited. I mean, it's weird because Vegas usually comes very, they usually come, if not after the break, like around the break.
Season.
So to have them have Vancouver and Vegas coming in as your first two games is a little strange, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, it should be a great game. It should be tremendous.
What are your thoughts on the first two games, what you've seen from the Lightning? I said on the show yesterday, I was so impressed with their intensity that they came out with defensively and their closing of time and space compared to how they played last year defensively. And I'm not just talking about the defensemen. I'm talking about everybody, the forwards as well. I thought there was a renewed intensity and commitment to take away time and space. And it's shown on the ice. They've given up 1 goal, 5-on-5 in 2 games, 2 goals total. If the idea was to get better 5-on-5 defensively this offseason, I think through 2 games, that's a big check mark. Would you agree?
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, just, the skating, the way they're attacking the puck, the way they're attacking the battles, the boards, they don't want to give up anything cheap. And that seems, and that's the mantra, and that's what I've seen so far. They're not giving up anything cheap. Obviously, I think we all thought Vasilevsky would be playing, is going to play well. And he's made some very good saves. And I think, at times when he's had to bail him out, he has. You look at the second period last night, there were a couple moments in the opener. That's going to happen during the course of a game. Is that the goalie's going to have to come up with a couple of big saves. But I'm with you in terms of just not, they're just not allowing a ton of zone time. It just feels like, defensively they're just so much more responsible than they were last year. And it's something that they talked about that. They said that's what the team that they want to be, and they're going to show it. And at the end of the day, we know this. That's how you win games in hockey as the season goes on. You win them by being tough to play against, by being tough to score on, by not giving up a lot of cheap goals. The teams that beat them, they have to really, they have to grind. And I think if teams know that they're coming into the barn, knowing that they're going to have to really, really scrape, to get a couple of goals past, and they're on the third or fourth game of that road trip, you might not get that for that. And not to say that I think Vancouver they had a really horrible first period. I mean, and the Lightning had a tremendous first period, but I'm just saying that, for the future is that you're going to catch some teams in here that are going to be tired, and they're not going to want to put up the fight that the Lightning are going to demand of them.
I think we all could agree that we probably were not expecting the Lightning to have like one of those historic power plays like we saw last year with some of the changes, and obviously Stamkos not being there in his usual spot through 2 games. How would you sort of evaluate how that's coming along?
It's definitely in development. By having an extra defenseman out on your first power play, it's a different dynamic. I saw, a little bit on Tuesday of them go back to the triangle, try that, let Hedman ride the point to get Kucherov, a slap shot. The cross ice passes aren't quite there yet. It's going to take a while because everybody has a comfort zone in a power play where they like to be and kind of where they like to operate. And it's just figuring those things out. So right now they're doing they're trying to, I notice they're trying to run a lot of it through 86 and kind of let him kind of let him see the ice, see where guys are comfortable at. It's going to improve. There's no doubt about it. I don't think it's I don't think it's their paramount concern because they're playing so well 5-on-5. But I think it'll improve. I'm curious to see if they're going to stick with having Hedman and Radish out there together. If that's going to change. I don't think the power play that we see right now might be the same power play we see 25 games from now. There might be some personnel changes. There might just be some general structural changes. So, but it's a developing power play. You got to, as we think with this, with all these with these postponements due to the hurricane, they practice times been limited. They haven't had the games.
Yeah.
So, they're still, they didn't have those last really preseason games to really work on this power play. So.
Yeah. They need game reps for that power play, and because they couldn't get it in the damn zone to set up. I mean, that was a little bit of an issue last year. They just, Vancouver had 4 guys at the blue line, and Cooch was trying to skate it in. As soon as he did, it was like, But you got to, in that case, you just got to dump it in and go get it. And hopefully, if they'll call interference if they hold you up at the line, but they're going to have to adjust to get that worked out. Now Vegas comes in. They were 3-0 to start the season. Marcia Show's out. Jack Eichel is in. That's kind of their big mix. And Eichel leads them in points already with 8 points, couple of goals, 6 assists. He's a hell of a player and hell of a playmaker. But they're a bit of a different team. Olofsson has 3 goals. He had one the other night. They lost to Washington 4-2. So they're coming off that loss. But it's a little bit of a different Vegas team, but still high-powered. And Eichel, is their new guy, and he's one hell of a player. What are your thoughts on Eichel now with Vegas?
Well, now we're looking at. I think this is the second full season for Eichel, and it's what I thought. It's what I figured would happen once he left Buffalo. Once he got into a situation where I thought, he was going to be where he didn't have the. Oh God, how do I say this? He didn't have the stink of being not Connor McDavid. That was always a thing I thought that really kind of kept Buffalo and that kept that situation with a lot of friction there, is because he was as good of a player as he wasn't Connor McDavid, and they tanked the season for Connor McDavid. They didn't tank it for Jack Eichel. And it's unfortunate to him. So, good for him getting out of there, getting to a place that, he could go that really, that A, needed him. They needed that sort of a playmaker, but 2, just allowed him to, they didn't look at him for what he wasn't. They looked at him for what he was, which is he's an all-star player in this league. This guy he is not a scrub. And I never really understood, so many of the issues with him in Buffalo. Like, you still have a very good player that you can build something around. Now, Vegas is building around him. They're building around him. They're building around his skill set. He certainly has 100-point season capability. He's trying to definitely be a more responsible 2-way player. I think his attitude is one that really works well on that team. He can be intense. He's a little quieter, and maybe and I think Vegas is a little bit more vocal guys in that room, so he doesn't have to yell and scream or be relied on to do that. And I also just think Bruce is an excellent coach, and being around a good coach like Bruce Cassidy, he's gonna you're gonna pick up a lot of good traits. So I'm a big Jack Eichel fan. I thought he should have won the Conn Smythe Trophy when they won the Cup. He did, but I thought he should have. So I'm a fan of his. I still think he's got. I still think he's hitting the prime of his career. So I think we're going to see like his best hockey over the next 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, his last 2 years, 66 and 68 points with Vegas, and now I think he's the total focal point of the scoring part of it. So he could add, I think, a lot more points this year as maybe their more lead guy. And I think it's one of the best all-around teams that you'll find. So this is going to be one hell of a game tonight. Now let's switch gears to the Super Bowl preview Monday night. Bucs and Ravens. Yeah, we're hyping it up here. I love this matchup on Monday Night Football with Lamar coming in, the Bucs offense coming off of a huge 51-point game, two of the best offenses in the game, which probably means it's going to be a low-scoring game because no freaking logic league, but it could be explosive. I hope it is. But this is a game, I think it's great. It's a great Monday night feature. The Atlanta game's way more important in terms of the scheme of things. So I'm wondering if Mike Evans is going to play this week. I think that's something we got to look at. I think he's dealing with something, and adding Marquez Callaway to the roster tells me that they feel like they're going to need some insurance. So I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with Mike Evans, but that might be a thing. What are your thoughts on this week's iteration of the Bucs coming off that big win in New Orleans?
I'm really just, I came away from the New Orleans game just, impressed with what they did running the football. What was the running total? It was over 250, wasn't it?
277.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Sean Tucker, I think 14, 136. Bucky, I think went 14 for 81.
Yep.
You're talking, you combine those two, that's 8 yards a carry right there. You're not losing any games if you're getting 8 yards. You're not losing against anybody. Now, the Ravens provide a much different look when it comes to run defense. That's the one thing they hold their hat on. Obviously, coming out of the AFC North, which is a very run-heavy division that those teams up there focus heavily on stopping the run game. The Ravens are one of those teams where you look at, offensively they've gotten so much better, the past couple of years. Really, they've won 4 straight. They've gotten just really, they're starting to really get a lot of explosive plays on offense. Defensively, they have lulls, and especially in the pass defense. And I expect, I would not be surprised, even without Mike Evans, to see, the offensive scheme be one that they're going to sling the ball around quite a bit. I think you look at the games that they lost, how they lose to the Raiders. The Raiders threw the ball a lot. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdown passes against them. So there's definitely some plays to be had in that secondary. And, there's some plays to be had. Chris Godwin is he's a hot player. He's going to find them. If there's something to be had in that secondary, Chris Godwin's going to go out there and get it. So, and Baker's going to get him that football. Now, Bucs have lost 5 straight to the Ravens. So they really need, because does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. But you want to get a win off of this team. I remember I was not at the game 2 years ago, the Thursday night game. That was the last chance I had to see my father before he passed away. So I went down for his final birthday. But I remember watching the game, and it was. I remember I was like, wow, there are a lot of Ravens fans here tonight. Yeah, this place is. It was so. The NFL these days, that's the way the games are. There's going to be a lot of opposing team fans, and so it's going to be a fun atmosphere. It's going to be Monday night. It's as good of a Monday night game as they've gotten so far this season. And you're talking about, again, 2 teams big aspirations. Two teams look like, definitely heading to the playoffs or, high level playoff potential. Great talent on both sides. You're bringing in a multi-time MVP from the road. So that's a great challenge for the defense, one that I'm sure they're going to be really looking forward to see how they match up, given that, given the quality of the quarterbacks you're going to see down the stretch. He's just, Lamar is a special player. He really is. He doesn't do anything, for all the odd criticisms that he takes for what he doesn't do. I look at what he does do, which is a lot.
He wins.
Yeah.
That's what he does. In the regular season, especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I even saw a stat. He's 22-1 against the NFC since he's come to the league. He's 22-1. Okay.
Oh
I think that's a trend too, because we never see him, and you don't get it till you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You really don't. Like, you don't get. There's very few like scout team Lamars out there. So it is a tough matchup, but I do think I'm sure being the defense that this defense it plays with a lot of pride. They hang their hat a lot, and we saw it. We definitely saw it in the second half against New Orleans. Obviously, after that disastrous second quarter, they realized they had to shut that team down. They did it, and they could have those moments. So I expect Todd Bowles to try to give them a lot of different looks, to try to give them a lot of different. A lot of things that he hopes that he really hasn't seen a lot of, and he can figure out how to get pressure from some areas that that'll keep Lamar from rolling to the outside. Once he gets outside that pocket to the perimeter, you're in trouble. You're in huge trouble, because especially now that he has a lot more confidence at throwing the ball down the field when he's out in that space. When he's out in space, it's pick your poison. He's going to run for 25 yards, or he's going to try to launch the ball 60 yards down the field. There's no, you're something bad is happening when that happens. So you really want to avoid that.
I did want to ask about the Bucs offense, in particular the running game, which has suddenly, come alive here in the last few weeks. I don't know how much it's going to play a factor in this game, because the Ravens stopped the run better than any team in the league. And I think maybe part of that is teams are sort of just not even choosing to run anymore against them, kind of like how teams used to do against the Bucs when they used to have the best run defense in the NFL for a couple years there. But in regards to that running back rotation, it seems like a lot of people just want to give the reins to, okay, we've seen it. Sean Tucker was just named the NFC Player of the Week. He needs to be the starter. Bucky and him and Rashad needs to take a seat. Like, how do you think that they should divvy up that running back rotation moving forward?
I mean, I hate to be a prisoner of the moment too. I left the New Orleans game thinking, are they going to trade Rachaad White before the deadline? and I don't think so. I don't think they are, but I certainly, this league is all about opportunity. It's all about the chance that you get, you take advantage of it. And you look at what Sean Tucker did. You haven't had a lot of opportunities to see him, but he went out there. He was a different running back. He brought this size and speed to the running game that they didn't have, and he brought a physicality. Then he brought a breakaway speed. And Bucky has been Bucky. He's a tremendous. He's great for quick hitters. He really. He really brings a nice little burst of speed, a wonderful change of pace. He's shown that he can give him the ball, 10, 12, 14 times, and he's fine with it. The NFL is not a place for three running backs, unfortunately.
Right.
So it really isn't. It's not like college where you can rotate three guys, and I don't think you can do that in the NFL. You just don't have the practice time each week to be able to pull it off.
Well, Rashad's hurt this week, so he's still nursing an injury. So I don't think it
Why
bothers.
are you asking me this question this week? We don't worry about it.
We'll worry about it later on.
Well, I mean, they have been doing like, the thing they're calling the pony package too, where they've been putting 2 running backs on the field and all that. So like, I mean, I'm sure, like, I will say, like, if there's anybody that I trust to handle that situation, given what I've seen in 6 games, it's Liam Cohen. Because I mean, anybody that was missing Dave Canales when he went to Carolina, I mean, Liam Cohen's just been such a revelation to everything.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Dave Canales is having buyer's remorse right now. My God.
You think?
Yeah, it's like he's not every head coaching job is created equal.
Well, this is why I said this actually, Corey, on Monday's show. I'm like, remember when Ben Johnson? I felt like that was Carolina's guy. They wanted Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson said, "I'm good," and I'm like, Ben Johnson's sitting on the sideline in Jerry World, and he's got Dan Skipper out wide, and he's throwing hooking laterals to Penei Sewell, like, and he gets to do that rather than putting his trust and faith in the year of 2024 and Andy Dalton.
And Andy Dalton, exactly. So Dave was a good coach.
There's only 32 jobs. You don't say no to a head coaching job.
Yeah,
ask
really
Byron
don't.
Leftwich about that.
Yeah, exactly. But man, when you're faced with taking 32 out of 32, that's a tough one. We think the number 32 out of 32. That's
I don't care. It still pays well, and it's Tepper too, because he's always going to fire you in 2 minutes, and you get to sit in a beach for 4 years and collect your money. Come on, sign me up for that shit.
You get a pretty good buyout. You're solid.
Hell yeah. What, are you kidding me? Hire me and fire me. I'm good. I'm good. Absolutely.
I think Tepper's just going to hire himself next is what's going to happen.
Why not? Couldn't do a worse job.
Exactly.
I don't think head coach is the problem in well, it might be, but that's not the biggest problem in Carolina. The horrible deals that you've made, the roster itself is the issue. So no biggie. All right. Before you go, let's give me a little college football. The Gators have resurrected themselves. I thought they acquitted themselves quite well at Tennessee. I don't think anybody had them going to overtime up there a few weeks ago, and they've won a couple of games. And now it's DJ Lagway's deal, right? Welcome to the SEC, bro. Georgia.
Yeah.
Where's that gauntlet? Texas. You got Kentucky, who's no pushover, by the way. Then you got Georgia, Texas, LSU. I forget who else is in that mix.
Ole Miss, I think.
Ole Miss. Time to put on your big boy pants, DJ Lagway. What are your thoughts? What's going on in Florida?
I thought that I really thought that they had a tremendous game this past week. Holding that offense in Tennessee to no points through 2.5 quarters is certainly something impressive. And then I just, why are you not going for 2 on that final? Like, you go for 2, man. Like, don't take like your quarter. You got a fast, you got a dual threat quarterback. You got a team on their heels. It's late in the game. This is a team that Florida, has owned Tennessee for pretty much 3 decades now.
Yeah.
And like you take them down. You got that shot. You got that momentum. You don't waste that. But that's Billy Napier in a nutshell. If there's a right decision to be made, he'll make the wrong one. So.
How do you not go for 2 there? That's nuts.
Scared money don't make money. Remember that.
Golly, dude. Oh, we'll go to overtime on the road instead. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. It's just
you know what? Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We can't talk about Florida State losing to Duke.
Duke. Oh, darn. This is a side game, right?
Shut up. Shut your mouth. I think we are underdogs, so we are not burying Wallace Wade Stadium turf in that hollowed ground. God damn it. No, we're not. I don't give a shit.
All right.
At this point, Charleston Southern may be a sod game, for God's sakes. No, listen, I think Brock certainly showed that he gives this team some type of life and a chance at the quarterback position. Maybe he'll even pull one on his own read and run it around the end this week. They'll let him do that. I don't know. But this is a moment, obviously, in a season of bad juju, where you're gonna, at least you can look your team in the eyes and go, listen, we've never lost to Duke, ever.
Yeah.
So
22-0.
22-0. We're not doing this. You guys have screwed up enough. The legacy and wearing that uniform and unbelievably gorgeous helmet that you get to wear every except the white ones, which are complete trash.
The white ones. Yeah.
Oh, what the hell is that? But don't go out and sully our name again in Wallace Wade Stadium, for God's sakes. Take care of business. I think they'll win this week. At least I hope so.
Yeah. If I looked at it, I said, you know what? This is probably. I think they've got enough with a bye week, coming off a bye week. I think they've got enough feel good from Glenn to where they should put their best foot forward on Friday. I think they felt good. I thought he played well. I thought he was really fun to watch, if that makes sense. Like, I thought, you know what? He's young. He's taking shots. He was running for like he was competing, which at times you just never got the feeling that DJ was really competing for you. But I never at any point felt like, Brock wasn't out there competing hard.
Right.
That he wasn't playing hard, that he wasn't. And I think that's gonna guide this team to a couple of wins in the second half of the season. Just, because, if guys just, there's no longer an excuse to loaf around.
Right.
You got one of your guys, he's an in-house guy. He's coming here. He really wants this. He takes a lot of pride. It's clear he took a lot of pride in the opportunity. So, you hope it's something they can build off of. There's a lot of stuff going on in Florida State. I really don't, that I hear. There's a lot of things going on. No one's giving me a lot of specifics. I'm in touch with the people that I'm in touch with that have their own gripes, and right now it's just there's a lot of issues there, a lot of issues that are going to have to be fixed, and it's going to come down to the head man, to step up and make some decisions that he doesn't like to make often, but he's going to have to do it.
If he doesn't want to do them, Mike Alford better make him do them, because they need wholesale changes on that staff and bring it up to snuff. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. The staff changes, the overall philosophy with recruiting that they need to things, and these are some of these things are tough changes because it's just not what you're comfortable with. But there's levels to this, and he's got to and now this is the challenge, is that you've got to A, change your game a little bit, and B, step up to the new challenges that provide themselves.
Yeah, no.
And he's got to do that. I mean, they weren't, they're not paying $10 million a year for this. This is not going to work. This is not in any way acceptable.
No, it's not. On so many, so much of that has gone wrong. You can point directly at Mike Norvell. The decision, the bridge quarterback decision was a disaster. Never should have endeavored on that. Unless you got Cam Ward, you don't then go with Brock or Luke. Let them fight it out. That was a horrific decision that I think is at the core of the entire disaster of this season. First and foremost, his game management, fourth downs against BC. Was it BC? But his total game management has been a disaster. Play calling, a disaster. Personnel usage, a disaster. Everything. It starts and ends with Mike Norvell. There's a lot of ways to shift things off to different things, but most of it is at the feet of Mike Norvell. And listen, 2 years, 10 wins and 13 wins. He did a great job. He made the right decisions in the portal, punched all the right buttons. This year has been a disaster. And not to say he can't recover. He can, but I think you're right. Bold changes need to be made within the program, and he's got to do them. And that's just as simple as that.
Absolutely.
This season right matters though. And right now they're going with younger players. They've looks like they benched the 2 senior guards transfers that they brought in. Thank God. Going with younger offensive linemen, going with Brock, going with younger receivers, younger tight ends. That's what needs to happen. And so there's something to build for. And it starts Friday night, right? They're playing.
Yeah, well, it started last week, and what you saw some young guys step up, and I think you hope it sends a message within it, like the kids you recruited out of high school weren't bad.
That's right.
It's okay to recruit high school kids.
Yes, and play them.
Like
play freshmen.
You play them, and they'll be all right for you. Like you have to trust yourself at some point. Like
exactly.
If you brought them in, you thought they could play at some level, so go out and play them. So
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Great
absolutely.
stuff as always.
All
Thank
right,
you for your time, Corey Long at Corey Long, CoreYLong. Follow him on the X Machine and get all his great content there. Thanks, buddy.
All right, but I'll see you at the ring tonight.
All right, see you. Hey, Corey Long, right there. All right, we got to take a break. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll finish things up with a little baseball and some other NFL stories. It's a story brewing in New York that has nothing to do with Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers that I'm deeply concerned about.
Those stories exist? They do?
Yes. It's very important. We are brought to you by Extravaganza Productions. Saw the great Paul Thomason last night at the Orlando at the Kia Center. We were at the Florida Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony last night where the great bar none, William Floyd, Jan Stevenson, and a bunch of other great folks went in. And, of course, Extravaganza Productions did the whole production and did a fantastic job, as they always do. Can you believe they had Pam Oliver be the MC instead of me? Pam Oliver?
I can't imagine what they were thinking when they made that decision. Did you say
maybe it's all her Emmys?
Gotta be.
Have something to do with
So
it.
you had a Nitro while you were there?
I did. I got a picture with Nitro. I haven't posted it yet, but I got a picture with Nitro. I said, you need to score a little bit better, Nitro. Take that costume off. All right. Anyway, Extravaganza Productions were there. They did a great job. Back in 3 to wrap this thing up. We've had a lot of fun with the monthly birthstones, and October is no different, where the birthstones are opal and tourmaline. All the colors of the evening sky are captured in the mysterious shifting hues of opal, and tourmaline has a color palette for every mood. Did you know that opals have been cherished for centuries, associated with royalty and good fortune? Tourmaline was once thought to protect against evil and enhance spiritual connection, adding to its allure. And during the 40th anniversary, you can find a special selection of this precious gemstone, from stunning rings and necklaces to elegant earrings and bracelets. Of course, Steve Weintraub handpicks every piece for its brilliance and quality. The expert staff will help you find the perfect gift, whether it's for a loved one, a special occasion, or a treat for yourself. Visit the Gold and Diamond Source today, where you'll always find the perfect gift. It's more than jewelry, it's love. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the J.P. Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance. Make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to GettysGordonGroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Yeah, so welcome back. I believe Cafe Paradiso has their power back. So go support that great local restaurant. Our good friend Paolo Chini there. They have been through hell in South Tampa. A lot of folks still don't have power. So go support those local businesses like the great Cafe Paradiso. All right. Gronk had some nice things to say, Nick Gaddis, about our boy Baker Mayfield. And I don't know, they worked out this summer together, the two of them.
That's what it sounds like here. Let's play the clip courtesy of the Buccaneers Twitter page yesterday.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, too. I'm going to take off my New England Patriots hat, and I'm going to put on my other former team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's go, Bucs.
He's kind of like a dude's dude. He's kind of like a dog. He's headbutting. He'd go play paintball with you. He'd go freaking to the bar, pound 6 beers, you name it. Pickleball. I played pickleball with him. He's the ultimate like teammate. He's like an ultimate locker room guy. It's like a guy that, quarterbacks aren't really like this. I feel like he would get in the trenches with you. He's a guy that wants to see you be an absolute dog. He's a guy that's cheering you on. I was breaking some PR records, cheering me on, and we were going nuts. He's just hyping me up. I'm hyping him up to break PR records. He's a guy that's not afraid to get dirty. And what I really like about the dude is like he's just a normal dude, man. He just wants to have a good time. He actually signed a 3-year, $100 million deal the morning of, and then he came to the workout session that day, and it was like nothing happened. It was just like he showed up. He didn't have an ego. He didn't have a big head or nothing. Just a normal dude, man. Just a normal dude out there just trying to have a good time.
What's wrong with that?
Oof.
Love that.
Great. Now I wish that Baker and Gronk had the chance to play together.
Right?
They seem like they'd get along really well.
Bring him back. Come on, Gronk. Gronk's younger than Kelsey.
Apparently.
Yeah. He's still in great shape. Come on.
Tell you what, speaking of Baker, I saw this stat today, and I guess I didn't really think of this. Since he first put on a Buccaneer uniform, no other quarterback has thrown more passing touchdowns than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's true.
49 touchdown passes, including playoffs. You look at some of the quarterback salaries around the league, Baker Mayfield's got to be, outside the guys who are on rookie deals like Stroud and all those dudes, of the dudes that have contracts like that, he's got to be the biggest bargain in the league.
Oh, without question. Without question.
Dak Prescott is getting paid $30 million more per him annually.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like the guy came out with little fanfare. It's not like he was, I think Geno Smith was a second-round pick. Sam Darnold was a pretty high pick. But of these guys that have resurrected their careers, let's not forget Baker won a Heisman Trophy. He's a super talented guy. He could throw the crap out of the football. He's really, really accurate. We said that, and the first thing I noticed in training camp this year, I was like, he's got more pop than he's ever had on his arm. And it was rarely evident in training camp. You could see it. And he's just carried it over to the regular season. His accuracy is the best in NFL as of last week. It was on target passing, leading the league, most touchdowns, leading the league. I mean, what more do you need to see from Baker Mayfield? So many people still don't believe in him. Like, still don't.
No,
believe
I think it's ridiculous that there are people that keep saying like, "Oh, look at the Bucs; they came out of nowhere," and it's like, man, I mean, they've been doing this for the last. I mean, under two different head coaches and 3 different offensive coordinators, 4 total calling plays when you throw Bruce back in there. Like, they've continued to be really the gold standard when you look at the NFC. I think they have the most wins in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken, since 2020.
That's
so
right.
Like, how much of this is sort of they're coming out of nowhere to know they're just a damn good, well-run organization. Like, you look at the numbers, like Tyke Smith. Like, I saw this the other day. I did want to put this in here real quick before we get off for the day. I think I saw that I had a stat line here, and it's something like historic, I think, already for Tyke Smith. Let me scroll to it real quick. Right here. Tyke Smith already has 4 passes defended, 2 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 2 quarterback hits, and 1 interception. He's the first rookie to hit that since 2020, and it only took him 6 games.
Yeah.
Like, Tyke Smith, 3rd-round pick. All of a sudden, he's already one of the best nickels in the league. I mean, Bucky Irving, look at what he's doing. Sean Tucker was undrafted.
5th-round pick, undrafted.
Isaiah McCollum's playing at an all-pro level
5th-round
season, and you let him develop and everything. Servassier Dennis, before he got hurt, was playing at a really good level. Like Logan Hall is playing really well right now. Let's give props to that dude. Like, everything that Jason Licht has done from a development standpoint and drafting is the reason why the Bucs are where they are right now. And I don't think it's enough credit for it, and probably never will.
2 terrific draft classes right back to back, and we're going to see, I think, more development out of some of these guys as well. I think Braswell's going to get better.
Braswell got a little bit better. I thought he played well this last week.
Yeah,
he played his best game. Cody Mauch has played his best 3 games in his NFL career here, I think, the last couple of weeks.
And Gedeke, obviously drafted. Is he 2nd or 3rd? I think it was
Gedeke was a 2nd, I believe.
Second round pick. They've hit on almost every one of these guys. The last 2 draft classes, they are all on the team making contributions, and undrafted free agents doing it as well. So they had to do it because of the salary cap hell they were in, and they've come through it. And now they've got a lot of good young players who are cheap, and now they can go add if they want. Next year they're going to have plenty of room. And by the way, Myles Garrett counts 806,000 this year, and his money's not guaranteed for the next 2 years. So if you want to make a deal with him, that's the one guy that I would go out and sign and pay in the offseason, that the other guys wouldn't go, oh crap, he's making more money than Levante David, or he's making more money than Mike Evans. They would be fine with it because he's a beast. He's a beast.
Like Jason Licht loves those draft picks, though. I mean, you'd have to give up a 1+ to get him.
You think?
Myles Garrett is the, like, there's Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby. Like,
how old is Myles Garrett? Is he 25?
Oh, he's not 25. No, Myles Garrett is probably 29, if I had to guess.
He came out early though.
He's 28. He's 28, but he's going to turn 29 at the end of the year. Productive as hell.
I know, beast. But you look at some of these great edge rushers, and when they start hitting 29, 30.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, remember when everybody wanted the Bucs to take a shot at Matthew Judon? Done nothing. The Falcons have like 5 sacks this year.
Interesting. All right, great job, my friend. Appreciate you. Well done, Nick Geddes. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. Pat Burnham will join us. He may be in Durham, actually, for the FSU game. So we'll get the FSU report tomorrow. We'll have our picks, all kinds of fun stuff. Fantasy football, we'll do that on a Friday, as we always do. Go Bolts tonight. I will see you at Amalie Arena this evening for a huge matchup with Vegas. We'll obviously wrap that up tomorrow and have all the post game on that. Have a great day, everybody. Go Bolts. See you tomorrow.